3, testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. 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 Okay, good evening everybody, this is Peter W here, commentating on round 6 of the Redline Community Racing League. Thanks very much to the admins for inviting me to do comms for this league tonight, and going forward every Tuesday I will be live streaming their fun and their travesties and some amazing overtaking, I'm sure of it. So I'm brand new to this league and I hope you will enjoy my comms tonight. Please do leave a message or a comment whilst streaming or on the Discord page. Also please feel free to give me a subscribe if you get a chance. Just trying to build up a bit of a following. So we're now waiting for the drivers just to ready up, and when we are ready to go I will have more for you. It's going to be, we're doing a short 18-minute qualifying session today, so just the one session, followed by a 50% race here at the Shanghai circuit. So just received a message, we will be starting qualifying in about 2-3 minutes, so we will soon be readying up, getting ready to see the first of the action. I'm imagining we're going to have at least 2 runs from the drivers, possibly 3. I took part in my first qualifying required league race yesterday, and I think I did 3. You've got plenty of time, especially around a track like this. It is actually the 11th longest in the calendar, so it's kind of like in the middle. 5.4 kilometre circuit. For those of us that work in miles, that's a little under 3.4 miles long. And looking, I'm sure we're going to have some very fast lap times coming around here, probably around one, if I'm remember correctly, around the 1:30 mark. So quite a short track in that sense, but a very fast track with the straights, especially in sector 3, being practically full throttle all the way. So see how many runs the drivers can get in whilst we are in our 18-minute qualifying. Obviously, you see the weather is set to dynamic for today, as I'm presuming with all league races, and we will wait to see what the weather is. I must admit, China in the rain is actually one of my favourite circuits, but in the dry, no thank you. More than happy to kind of take on China in the wet, just obviously requires a whole lot more downforce, and we are now readying up, the drivers are now readying up to take part in the qualifying session. So best of luck to all the drivers. Once again, thank you to all those tuning in at the moment. I can see you've got a few people watching, so thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to my stream to watch more racing from the Redline communities, as well as other ones that I do commentaries on. And if you have any comments, please feel free to make them either on this page, and I will respond during the break, or on the Discord, and I should be able to respond straight away. So thanks very much, guys. Just waiting for qualifying to get going now. Obviously it's up to the drivers when they head out, but I imagine we're going to see some early runners trying to get out and just set a lap to get a qualifying time on and take the pressure off a little bit towards the end, once the track's warmed up a bit more and the cars will be able to get around just that little bit faster. So let's see what happens. Here we are at round 6 for the Redline racing community, and we will be racing here today at the Chinese Grand Prix based in Shanghai. So 20 seconds in, and we've got our first car coming out. That is going to be the Ferrari of RRC Optics. Currently, just looking at the league, and currently, Optics, where are you in the league? Cannot actually see you. I'm presuming he must be a newer driver then, racing in the Ferrari. Yeah, he must be substituting either for Seb or... Okay. Not quite sure what's going on here. Right, okay. So forget the teams. I'm thinking it's a progressive championship in terms of who's driving for what teams. I'm seeing a few changes here in terms of who is driving for whom. But yeah, we have got now 6 drivers on their out laps. So let's see how this goes. This is first time out in this league for Optics. Looking at the sorry, just going to set up the details here for you all to be able to see. Okay. Now for me, that corner turn 13 is very tricky and plays such a big part in cementing the lap. It can either spoil it or it's going to make it. You just can never be sure. If you get out of shape in it, you're kind of screwed. You're going to lose a lot of pace on the straight, which will leave you vulnerable. And Optics head straight back into the pits. He mustn't be feeling that, so I'm going to move to the next driver on track, which is one of the Alfa Romeos. Susan Pat is just starting his flying lap, so we're going to stay on board with him for now. Through turn 2 and 3. First these corners are very tricky, but just managing to stay off that throttle just a little bit enough to make sure you get a good sec to go through there. CRL currently faster than Sozen, but we'll stay with Sozen again, just getting a nice view of the track as we get the first batch of drivers going around and setting their flying laps. Currently got 4 people out on their flying laps, so a good chance. Sorry, we've got 4 people on their out laps, 3 now, and we've got 7 setting fast lap times. So should have some results up in a moment. See who's going to be the early leader in this 18-minute qualifier for the Redline racing community. Running a bit wide there out of the turn. See, this tournament, especially with strict cutting, can make that difference of are you going to set a lap or not. If you get it wrong just by a fraction, you've run wide and your lap's invalidated. But Susan Pat does manage to get a lap in, a 1:31.6, and CRL Ferg 2 seconds quicker than Susan on a 1:29.6. So currently our leader. See if anyone manages to get anywhere close to him. Everyone else seems to be lapping in the low to mid 1:31. So CRL is our leader currently. You can see by the graph here, CRL nearly 1.7 seconds ahead of second at the moment, but just over 0.3 of a second separating second and our current 5th in Jake Lee, who, if I'm not wrong, is also a debutant to the league. So I think we have a few debutants here who I can't see on the league grid, as we see CRL just lock up there. Lewis comes in setting a very fast lap, going in second, just a 1:30.0. Watching CRL, you do notice how much of a difference having anti-lock brakes off is, like, beneficially, but very easy to lock up, and it does take a lot of skill to be able to drive like that. Obviously I don't know if he's using a wheel controller, having just switched to no anti-lock brakes. It is a knack and it does take your time to get used to it, but that was some good driving there by CRL Ferg, who is our current leader. His teammate Drew O currently in 3rd place, so a good showing for the Renault team. Drew and CRL, yet both registered drivers on the Renault team from the league, and currently CRL 3rd in the league, 2 drivers ahead of him. Jewel, who in the Mercedes, who has not done a flying lap yet. I believe he's on it now, so gonna switch in to see how he does. Yet he's just started his flying lap. So Jewel is currently our championship leader with 102 points after 5 races. Absolutely phenomenal, knowing a maximum of 26 points for a race weekend. That's basically 4 race wins and 2 fastest laps in 5 races. So G will definitely looks like he's going to be the driver to watch out for in this championship. But you've got Alex Ham, who is today driving in the Force in the Racing Point. Sorry, I keep calling them Force Indias. So we've got Alex Ham, who is currently second in the league and is about a lap down on CRL Ferg, based on the qualifying times. He is on 77 points. CRL Ferg is just 4 points behind Alex on 73 points, so that's going to be a good, probably the closest battle in terms of the early championship will be between Alex and CRL today. Obviously 26 points at stake here. So we will see how they do as CRLG will comes through the last corner. Extremist Whitey getting out of the way did affect Will's line a little bit, but as he comes through, G will go second. He takes second place at the moment with a 129.8 in the Mercedes. So currently our championship leaders are first in CR Ferg, who sits third in the championship. You've then got Alex Ham down in 5th, and CRL Ferg, who is third in the championship, in first. Okay, so gonna move away from this view. So gonna give a little bit of a roundup of the rest of the championship. So already done the top 3. We've got Jonathan Cox. Is Jonathan racing today? I don't see him on any of the names, so John is not racing today in the Red Bull. He has been replaced by, it looks like Total P's, because Louis Ladd, I believe I've seen that name before. Nope, they're both new drivers. Bagos, is Bagos with us today? No. So both new drivers in the Red Bull, Louis Ladd and Total P's. Who else then? We've got, so Jonathan Cox 22 points behind CRL Ferg in 4th with 51 points. And then we've got JML Klosick. Is he racing today? It does not look like it. So again, another driver not with us. And then we've got new drivers in the Haas. No, I thought a new fastest lap had been set, but Extremist in the Ferrari has gone to 4th. Brilliant driving there by Extremist. He's currently sitting on 2 points in the championship, down in 14th position. Very good flying lap there from the Extremist. Well done, taking 4th place. Got debutant in Seb Bauer. He's racing for this league. He's racing for the Alpha Tower. He's racing in the Alpha Tower. Currently down in 14th position. And in the pits on a 132.4. I'm sure he'll be aiming to improve on that. Having raced for Seb a few times, I know he's a very quick, good driver, so we'll see if he can improve on that in his second run. Looks like the majority of drivers are choosing to take just 2 runs. So as we pass the halfway stage of qualifying, we've got CRL Ferg in first, G Will in second, Louis Ladd in third, the Extremist in 4th, Drew in the Renault in 5th, Alex Ham in the Racing Point in 6th, Optics in 7th, iStreams in 8th, Sozan Pat in the Alfa Romeo in 9th, Dragon on Speed in the Williams in 10th, Mike Edwards in the Haas now in 11th, with Total P's having just set the fastest lap in qualifying, a 129.3. Absolutely flying around. Brilliant driving there by Total P's to take the provisional pole position. See if he can hold on to it when the rest of the drivers come out for their second run. We're just waiting on 3 drivers now to come and set a flying lap. Those would be 10 Toon Stealing, who is just coming in. I'm guessing he's having issues with his car, but he's just coming in after gone out for his flying lap. We've got Brabbit, who is on a flying lap. We'll focus on him now. And XRT Covey, who is currently in the pit. He also hasn't done a flying lap yet. So we'll see how this goes. See how this lap turns out for Brabbit. Hope you're all enjoying the commentary so far, by the way. Please do leave any notes. And Brabbit up to 9th position, puts himself in between the Force India, the Racing Point of Jake Lee, and the Haas of Mike Edwards into 9th position, 1.5 seconds behind our current pole position Total P's in the Red Bull. So yeah, just now 2 drivers who are got quite a lot of 2 drivers who haven't set a time. We've got quite a lot of drivers on the track at the moment. Oh, well, as I say that, 3 head into the pits. But yeah, we've got 8 drivers on track currently. 5 minutes 24 to go. I'm imagining we are going to have the remainder of the drivers out within the next few minutes. I know for some they prefer to fuel enough for 2 flying laps. Obviously then you just need to make sure you manage your ERS, and because obviously on number 2 you don't have control over it, it is constant and it is your hot laps, so you do have to monitor it if you're going to run 2. But we will see as so Total P is still leading, so I thought Dragon on Speed had actually just pipped him there. So yeah, let's see when the next drivers come up. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Sorry, sector 3. Yep, that would be CRL Ferg coming into the pits. Presume he's going to try and get a new set of tyres on for a final run. See if he can get that pole position from Total P's. So we currently have 3. Quite surprised we've got 3, 6, 7, 10 drivers in the pits with 4 minutes to go. This is a 1 minute 30 track, so I'm imagining within the next couple of minutes we will see quite a few drivers coming out as Brabbit heads towards the pits. He is on a red lap, which means it wouldn't count if he crossed the line. Yep, coming into the pits. Brabbit in 9th position. Will he be going out for one more lap? I'm so intrigued to see if Crovey and 10 Toon Stealing come out or not, because neither of them have set a lap yet. We've still got 9 drivers in the pits and 11 drivers out. Gonna have a look at Drew Hill. He's currently on a he's currently on a flying lap. Let's see how he does in sector 2. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a dent on his current best. He's 2.5 seconds down on his current best. However, he has pipped CL Ferg. This will probably be his end lap. Will he go for one more set of tyres? Does he have time? I would say just about. Will he go for a quick change of tyres and then straight back out? We will see. As it sits right now, we've got Total P's just still in the pit lane in his paddock. We have got CRL Ferg and Louis Ladd 3rd and 4th out on their out laps. I'm gonna focus on Drew. He is currently coming around sector 2 through the corners of sector 2 as we head down towards the straight. How is his sector 2 going to look compared to his current? He is 0.167 of a second up on his PB. That won't affect his current position. He needs to gain 3.5 tenths on the extremists to be able to gain a place. But very good coming out of turn 13 in gear 8. ERS is now out. Braking late, brilliant turn now. How is Drew going to do? I think he's going to go quicker. Is he going to get past the extremists for 6th? No, he lost half a second in that last sector, unable to improve on his current time, and he has no more ERS left, so I think that is Drew done. We have got Alex Ham, we've got Drew Will and Total P's all on out laps. CRL Ferg, he is 30 thousandths of a second up, 300ths out of sector 1. Let's follow him. He is currently the highest placed driver on the track. Actually, where is... we got Louis Ladd. He's currently 3 attempts up on his fastest time coming through sector 2. We're going to focus on Louis' effort now into the final sector, see if he can improve and possibly jump CRL Ferg. It is going to be a big ask. CRL was fast in the first sector, and there's a 4-tenth gap between the two, but this could give him a bit of a gap between him and Alex. Yes, he does. He goes to just 4 attempts behind Louis Ladd. Alex Ham now has a 4/10 of a second lead to try and get rid of if he wishes to overtake Louis. That was a very good lap by Louis. As we see Sierra Ferg coming through the last corner, does he improve up to second place, just 78 thousandths of a second behind Total P's. Is Drew Hill, I don't think he's going to make it for another lap. This is going to be close. Is he going to get through? No, he doesn't. Just a second earlier, he would have got that last flying lap and the perfect time to get it. So, let's see, is CRL going for another flying lap? If he is, I don't think he's going to make an impact. He's already 15.157 seconds down on Total P, so I don't think he's going to make an indent. Let's see, can Louis snatch it? Will he be able to get onto the podium? Top 3, 2 Red Bulls in the top 3. Haven't seen that recently. Nope, he heads for the pits. Obviously not on a lap improving. Alex comes around and invalidates his time in the last sector. It wouldn't have made a difference. He was only slightly above, but is he going to get pipped? We have got... I don't think so. We've got only Dragon on Speed left to cross, and it's going to be a big ask of him. Dragon on Speed up from 15th to 8th, and the last driver, so that is qualifying over, and we have our results for the race. Total P's will be starting on pole position in the Red Bull with Ferg in second. Hill in third. So unfortunate for him. He timed his last flying lap to perfection, minus a second. Another second, I think he would have got over to get that last flying lap in. So we've got Will in third, Louis Ladd in fourth in the Red Bull, Alex Ham in the Racing Point in fifth, Extremist in sixth, Brabbit in 7th, Dragon on Speed, brilliant last lap just as at the end there, getting him up to 8th, Drew in 9th in the Renault, and Jake Lee rounding off the top 10 in the Racing Point. 2 drivers did not set a fastest lap, those being Crovey and 10-ton students. So let's see how they do in the race. We obviously will have no idea about their pace. Should be an interesting race, this one. Hopefully we do get a dry race. It doesn't change, and must admit that's always so hard to set up for, where you have a dry qualifying and you know you need to get your lap right, get your speed right, but then a wet race or an inters race, not so bad, but a wet race, or I hate it when I see that happen, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I do see rain. Ooh, this could be interesting. This could perhaps explain some of the larger gaps towards the back. Let's see how this plays out. So we have got a wet China. I don't think I've seen a wet China in recent times on live. Excuse me. So it's going to be intermediate starting on. Apparently, from what I've been told, the track is going to dry later. Thank you very much for that, Seb. So this is going to be an interesting race, especially in terms of setup. So the Shanghai International Circuit, like I said earlier, it's the 11th longest circuit on the calendar at 5.4 kilometers long. It's been ever present since 2004, besides 2020 due to COVID. Lewis Hamilton, the most successful driver at this Grand Prix, has won 6 of the 16 races that have taken place. It's also the scene of Michael Schumacher's last victory in 2006. So, setting off for the formation lap. She can be absolutely critical to the drivers to warm their tyres up during this. Just get set up ready to go now. Yep, brilliant. Okay. So you have the key thing here for the leaders, I found with any formation lap, you don't, obviously it's important, you need to get your tyres warmed up, you don't want to go off too far ahead. You do that, like is happening right now between Ferg and Total Ps, you're going to be sitting for a long time. You are going to be sitting for a long time, and then your tyres are going to cool off. It's very light rain, so most of the drivers, all of the drivers have stuck to their dry tyres. I would choose to agree with that. It's not wet, nowhere near wet enough for winters, so I'm guessing light rain followed by dry spells later. Most of the drivers are choosing to start on the soft switch around this track. Go quickly. I would imagine by lap 12, lap 10, lap 12, we are going to see pit stops without a doubt. 3 drivers starting on the medium compound, those being Optics, Seb Bauer and 10 Tune Stealing, all starting on the mediums. Let's see if they can make their way through the field using those tyres, which will give them the option to be faster later on in the race on the fresher softs. So this track has 2 DRS zones, as I think most of us know. The long straight we're currently on now between turns 13 and 14, and the home straight. Total P's backing them up now. Hopefully we don't see any collisions. Obviously a collision does mean that you will then start with cold tyres on the formation lap on the race, as you will be disqualified from the formation lap, so you will start as you were before you got a chance to warm your tyres up. Did see a Red Bull Louis Ladd going into the barriers, but I don't believe damage is set during the formation lap, so he should be okay with that. We have our first DQ in Alex Ham. He must have collided into the back of someone. And Streams and Seb Bauer, unfortunate for both from there, starting way back, they would have wanted to have warmer tyres. So 16 corners all in all on this track. We've had a few interesting battles in time in these few years with China, notably Verstappen and Vettel's collision in 2018, which gave Verstappen a 10-second penalty and Vettel a dropping from 3rd to 8th in the end. So drivers are all now lined up, and we are going to wait for the lights. Here we are at China in the Redline racing community, round 6 of the championship at China. Just waiting for the lights now. And best of luck to all drivers. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we go. We have 3 jump starts. We have 3 jump starts already. Drive-through penalties for Sozon, Zedner and Mike Edwards. Wow. As Total Ps gets away cleanly, so does Fergie Extremist up the inside of CO Duwell. Is he going to be able to hold this into turn 3? We're going to see any collisions coming out of the turn. Everyone seems to get through clearly. Everyone through clearly, brilliantly, brilliant. So they're predicting these tyres are only going to last, the soft tyres are only going to last a 6-7 laps. Oh, and there's an AlphaTauri has come off. Seb Bauer, was that Seb Bauer? And yeah, it's a retirement for our debutant Seb Bauer. It's only a yellow flag. There is, and as I say that, the safety car is called out. The safety car out on lap 1. Seb Bauer seemed to lose it coming out of turn 5 towards turn 6 at the end of the first sector and connected with the barriers. Unfortunate there, Seb. So 2 drivers now on mediums. This is going to be interesting. Let's see if anyone is going to choose to pit. Obviously an early pit stop here will have huge gains later on, whether or not they choose to switch onto the mediums, try to stretch them out, or even the hards. This is going to be interesting. This is advertised as a two-stop strategy for most drivers. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the leaders choose to pit. If they do, let's see what they go on to. As the drivers obviously still have to obey any the pace. They can't go too fast, or they also will get a drive-through penalty. And we already have 3 drivers with those: Zedna, Mike Edwards, and and Sosen Pap. So we got a lot of drivers coming in. This is going to lead to double stacking. CRL Ferg with a bit of a Lewis Hamilton there, running wide. Had there been a gravel trap there, that could have been interesting. So let's see. Got the traditional Codemasters glitch going on now, so we'll wait for that to sort itself out. We are still on lap 2 of 28. And we'll wait for this to sort itself out. I can see that there is a Red Bull coming around to a safety car. That's going to be Louis Ladd, who will be our de facto first place for now, which he will have to pit. Drew O and Zedna have both chosen to change onto the Inters, and Mike Edwards. So we've got 3 cars on the Inters. Let's see how that works out. That's a bit of a gamble, if I think so. The rain doesn't look hard enough yet for Inters. I have seen drivers go onto it as in other leagues and other races, and it'd just be too early for them. Let's see how this works out. We have still got the Codemasters glitch. Drew is not currently in second place. Like I said, this normally works itself out within a lap or so. So we'll see how that goes. There we go. Just as I said. Jake Lee has pitted onto the soft tyres. Let's see how that goes. So obviously right now the big place changes are going to be because of pit stops, and as we can see, all Optic Streams, Team Stalling and XRT Kobe, who started towards the back of the grid between 14th and 18th, have progressed massively, choosing not to pit. So I thought there we were going to have a crash between Covey and Pease. It seems that Covey is ghosting. Yeah, it looks like Covey is ghosting, which if he is, he's either left the session or he must be having connection issues, but definitely looks like Covey is ghosting now. Yeah, just take a better look at. Yeah, he's definitely ghosting there, so let's see. As we get a Ferrari, was that a Ferrari? Yep, Optics is into the pits. He's going to take his pit stop now before the safety car comes in. What tyre is going to switch on? As we can see, we've got 3 drivers currently on Inters. I'm looking forward to seeing. It's a wing change as well. And I'm presuming he's got, yep, a 5-second penalty. I remember he had a collision on the first lap of the safety car, so pit in for a new wing. He's switching onto the softs, which is an interesting choice. See how that plays out for him. He will rejoin in second to last position. We've already got Zedna, who is pitting again. I think Zedna might have been trying to take his drive-through penalty. Unfortunately, obviously you're not allowed to take any drive-through penalties under safety car conditions. Obviously if you do, you can gain that time back up so easily, so he is going to have to pit again once the safety car goes in, which I do imagine is going to be at the end of this lap. Going to stay on board with him. He's going to be trying to catch up with the bunch. Let's see how he's feeling for traction. Struggling to get out of those corners. I do think it's too early for those Inters. If they're going to be needed, there's not enough water on the track in my eyes. I really see him, Mike and Drew all I see them struggling on the Inters, and I think it's not going to be long before they're back in. So let's see. As Zedenda runs wide, he's really struggling. He's got a drive-through penalty as well. He will catch up the bunch, I think he will, but he's going to be at a major disadvantage here. So let's see. Gonna head back to Louis, who is now the de facto safety car. We've got a very long way to go here. Yep, as we can see there, XRT Covey in fourth is ghosting. So we've got Hearts of Ice Dreams in second, 10 Tunes Stelling in third. When the question is, will Louis go for it? I'm going to watch from Ice Dreams. It might be a bit easier just to watch from him. I think it's going to be a while, but he doesn't need to hold the pack up this much. They're going to be bunching like crazy, hoping for the drivers. The last thing you want to see is any collisions before a safety car resumes. Not only do you get penalties, but it screws your race, because obviously you then need to pit for a new wing. Let's see how this goes. I thought Louis was going to go for it there. So come round to the last corner. When does Louis choose to put it down? And Louis puts it down. Yep, and we are back racing. Total P is already passing the ghosting XRT. Total P is basically our de facto race leader. We do have 3 drivers ahead of him, but all of them still need to essentially pit. However, 10 ton stalling is on medium, so basically the same sort of strategy. We've already got 2 cars in the pits. Zednar and Mike Edwards both serving their drive-through penalties on the inters as well. I'm going to look forward to seeing this. Drew, also on the inters, is already dropping back past Jake Lee. We've got a yellow in sector 1. It looks like it was the 2, Mike and Zender. They must have run wide out of turns 1 and 2. Yeah, he is dropping back like crazy as Jake Lee gets past his teammate Alex into turns 7 and 8. Watching Sozon Pat, who's the only driver currently on the hard. He also has a drive-through penalty to serve. Really looks like these guys on the inters are going to be struggling for pace. It was too early, and as we can see from the driver's point of view, the Jack's already tried. They're going to have to pit again. The question is, will the hard tyres last to the end? Should do. We'll see. But they're going to have to pit soon, or their races are as good as over. So going to move towards the front. We've got a 3-way battle for first. Lewis, Total Peace and Ice Stream. We've got CRL Ferg right on the back of Ice Streams, coming down the home straight, and he makes the pass quite routinely. Good pass there by Ferg up into 3rd place. He's going on down the track. Gonna focus on our championship leader Drew Hill as he's trying to make his way through the pack on the going around the outside of Stealing, sorry. Down the inside, will he make this hold? Very similar to the move Danny Ricciardo made on Valtteri Bottas back in 2018 when he took Red Bull's only victory at the circuit since the Mercedes domination. So yeah, we've got, but 10-2 has not given up. He's still right on the back of CRL Duel. So I'm looking now, yep, all 3 drivers who were on the inters have pitted for new tyres, mediums, and Drew and Zender choosing to go onto the mediums and Mike Edwards onto the harder compound. Will that last him to the end of the race? We will see. I'm doubting the mediums. Well, that's 23 laps on a very tyre resistant track. So I'm going to watch the battle for second. Down the inside, can Ferg make it? There is contact between the 2. Lewis gets away. Lewis holds second position for now. Ferg right on his back. And Ferg makes a move. Is he going to make it stick through turn 1? Side by side going into turn 2. Who's going to get this? DRS has now been enabled. Ferg gets the inside into turn 4. And Ferg takes second position from Louis, who now is still right on his back. Fast tyres right on his back. Louis does still need to. Louis hasn't yet made his first pit stop. Ferg and Total Peace already got a 1.5 second lead over Ferg. We're interested to see if Ferg in 3rd position of the championship will be able to close this gap. Looking further down, we've got a good battle going on for 6th position between Tentoon, Dragon Speed and Drabbit. Tentoon really suffering on these mediums. Obviously we had Dewhill pass him last lap, he's already 2.5 seconds down on him. Dragon Speed and Brabbit both are going to be within DRS range, and this China straight is a nightmare for DRS drag, especially when you're the car trying to defend. So let's see how this works coming into... Okay, Dragon on Speed, DRS wide open. I think he will make this move. I'm not sure about Brabbit. Yep, Dragon on Speed, as long as he doesn't lock up, absolutely fine. Routine takeover there by Dragon on Speed, taking 6th place from 10-2. We have got a yellow flag. Mike Edwards. Looks like he spun the car coming out of turn 6. He's struggling for traction like crazy. And that's his race over. That is Mike Edwards' race over. Spinning out, it just didn't seem to have any traction in that whatsoever. It is only a yellow flag at the moment. Drivers are approaching the area of the incident. You can see on the left there. We're going to move back to the battle for 6, and it has been decided virtual safety car. A virtual safety car has been deployed. As we see XRT Covey pitting. Is he still ghosting? Let's have a look. Looks like XRT is back with us. Nope, still ghosting. Okay, so just taking a mandated pit stop on the recommendations on a ghost, but moving back through it. Streams has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Down in 12th, having just pitted onto the softs, is now going to have to take that drive-through penalty and have 3 laps to do it. We are back again racing. The battle for first is looking quite hot. Just 2.5 seconds separating the top 3. Sierra Ferg now within DRS range, but was not there at the start of the straight. So he will get DRS down the next straight. 10-ton. Wow, that is an audacious move by Optics. Does he make it stick? No, he doesn't manage, but I saw him come in for the outside, for the inside of 10-2. I thought that was a bit ambitious. But, so the Alfa Romeo of 10-2 losing another place to Brabbit. And Optics, who picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits, with the Extremist right behind him. It's 2 Ferraris behind the Alfa Romeo of 10-2. Excuse me. Jewel has left the session. That must be connection issues. I see no problems with his car. It must be a connection issue. He's going to be devastated. He was up in 4th, and his car will be slowed down because he's not driving it. He's going to, let's hope he can get back quickly and manage to not lose too many positions. So going to again focus on the battle. The closest battle at the moment on track is for 7th position between 10-2 and Optics in the Ferrari. On the insides, oh, sends up 10-2 a bit wide. That was, did he leave him any space there? I think he was a bit too aggressive coming out that corner. So 10-2 down into 8th position now, but he will have DRS. Optics will not. Will he be able to close the gap at all? It's a bit of a DRS train going on here between 7th and 10th. Alex Ham doing very well to close up on the back of the Extremist 10-2 and Optics at this moment. Optics moving to the inside. 10-2 around the outside. He's going to be able to make this stick. This is going to be tight. He will have the inside on the last corner. See, that ghosting car is not going to be helping the situation. And 10-2 takes the position back. It looks like Optics has chosen to pit. Okay, Optics is in the pit. So 10-2 taking 6th position. The Extremist Dewhill is now back good. He has lost 5 positions and maybe 5-6 seconds on track, but that won't be the end for him. He's back and in no position. So welcome back, Dewhill. Getting closest battle is this battle for 6th. 10-2, the Extremist and Alex Ham. Alex Ham is currently 2nd place in the championships, looking to catch places on Jewel. That connection issue may help him now. Jewel is 2.5 seconds behind. And another safety car. Zenda has retired. Zenda has lost it coming out of turn 13 onto the long straight in sector 3 and has lost his car. We have got another safety car, and we've just had Optics and Jake Lee pit. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers head into the pit now. So that's 2 safety cars in 9 laps of our Chinese Grand Prix here, round 6 for the Redline racing community. Let's have a look. I'm interested to see how many pit stops people have taken so far. So we've got Louis and Tentoon who have not yet pitted. Most of the drivers having taken 1 stop. We've got a handful having done 2 in Optics, Jake Lee and Duo. Let's see how this plays out. Once we've got this round of pit stops, I imagine we're going to have quite a few cars in the pits. Quick change onto the hard tyres for CRL. Yeah, looking like everyone is choosing to pit very sensibly. Obviously, I don't see Jake Lee pitting. He is on fresh mediums. Will they get him to the end of the race? Unsure, but the majority of drivers at the moment choosing to go onto the hard compound. Optics will move up places, having now up to 6th. Optics is now up to 6th. He is on fresh softs. He is going to be able to make a dent in this. But the rest of the drivers, I think this is their last stop. Jake Lee may be able to make his tyres last to the end of the race, we'll see. But I think everyone 1st through 8th on the hard tyres besides Optics, that will be their last stop of the race, bearing any problems, any crashes. That will probably be the last stop. So gonna take a minute's break, guys, just to get some water. I will be right back. Hi guys, back. So now on lap 11, I'm imagining this will be the last lap under the safety car. Drew has pitted for fresh hard. He's going to be playing hard. Him and Streams have both pitted for fresh softs, it looks like, and will be working hard to catch up the pack before the end of the race, before the end of the lap, to be right on the back. So just want to say thanks again, guys. Really enjoying doing this commentary. It's been some great action. Like I said, any comments or likes, please feel free to drop them on Discord or in the comment section, and I will definitely look them over. So yeah, hope you're liking it. Please remember to subscribe if you get the chance as well. That would be great. It does look like Duo in the Renault is going to be able to catch up for the restart. So looking at, yep, as predicted, safety car is in this lap, so Total P's again will become de facto safety car. Will he use the same tactic as last time? Let's see. So our big winner so far today is Optics, but he does have a drive-through penalty and the soft tyres on, so we'll see how that plays out for him. So it's not a drive-through, it's a 3-second penalty for corner carting. He must have took that earlier, so he's got a 3-second penalty as he nearly goes into the back of his teammate, the Extremists. Okay, so going to focus on first place now. When does he put his foot down? Ferg right on the back, dragging on speed, catching up. When does he put his foot down? Let's watch. Safety car is now in the pit lane, so Pease can put his foot down whenever he's ready. Not quite yet. Might have been a good time. Dragon was there, was really off the back there. And Total Pease gets going, and we are back racing here at Shanghai, going into lap 12 of 28. Total Pease, will he be able to make it a move stick? Got a half-second lead over Ferg and Dragon. I think everyone responded pretty well to the brakes. Let's watch the moves. Yep, as I thought, Optics gets past his teammate. Was that tactical move? I know when you're racing, you are racing for yourself, but if you see your fellow constructor on faster tyres, you got to think tactically at some point. So Optics, oh, I wasn't sure if he was going to end up in the back there of Brabbit. Wouldn't want to make quick work of Brabbit. All of the drivers currently in the top 8 besides Optics on the harder compound, so Optics is going to have to pit again. Will more than likely, I imagine, pit onto the mediums as he runs really wide there. Optics coming out of turn 10. This is the closest battle on track at the moment, so we're going to stick with this battle for 4th position between Optics. Takes a very high line through turn 13. Got quite a bit more speed than Brabbit, but it's not going to be enough to catch him as we go into turn 14. It's going to want to try and dispatch of this McLaren as soon as possible. CRL or Ferg already 1.8 seconds ahead of Dragon Speed. Sorry, 1.7 seconds ahead of Dragon Speed. Total P setting the fastest lap of the race so far on the harder compound tyres. These hard tyres, they do have so much durability, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see fuel wearing off, we're going to see faster lap times coming from these harder compound drivers. So I want to watch Drew. Obviously Drew is our championship leader at the moment with 102 points as he makes a move on Soz and Pat, and yep, manages to make the move stick for 8th position. Soz and Pat on 10 lap old hard, and comes back at Drew Will coming through turn 7 and 8, but Drew defends well and holds the position. So focusing on next target, one of his championship rivals, Alex Ham in 7th, Drew first in 8th on the grid, Alex Ham 2nd in the championship and 7th on the grid. Let's see if he can close this gap. It's a 1.5 second gap at the moment, which the DRS is not in play yet, and we have got a 2.5 second lead building between Dragon on speed and Ferg. Dragon really struggling to keep up with these two drivers, but defending brilliantly from Brabbit and Optics. Still not managed to find a way past either of them. Brabbit runs a bit wide coming off of the curb there. Optics using up the rest of his... is there going to be contacts? Looking to dive down the inside. Is Brabbit... Didn't want to leave him the space, but he had to. If he didn't, that could have been a racing incident. So Optics now up to 4th. Some very aggressive driving there by Optics. Very aggressive, very good but aggressive. So his next move is Dragon. Will he be able to make that move? We will have DRS from the next from this lap, but with Urs nearly out for optics, is he going to be able to make a move stick? We can see Dragon has a lot more, and there's a yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like Louis Ladd has lost it around turn 6. Coming out of turn 6, it looks like, is there any damage? Doesn't look like it. No, it looks like it was just a spin, so that was quite fortunate for him. I saw a car in the Duo has gone into the barriers at turns, looks like turn 10. Yep, just after turn 10. Drew down into effectively last 14th, with XRT still ghosting. So CRL, as we've missed, CRL with the DRS on Total P's manages to take the lead and Total P's is going to come right back at him. I have no doubt. He's been dominant all weekend. As we see someone go into the pits, optics in the pits, as I expected, wasn't able to make enough of a cushion, so he's going to have to switch now. Will he be switching to the mediums or the hards? That will be the question. So CRL holding off Total P's as we're coming through sector 1. Optics all the way down, essentially now, so second last. It's unfortunate. Has now switched on to the medium, so the faster of the compound. They should get him through to the end of the race. She depends on what he's going to be running in terms of fuel mix, but should comfortably get him through to the end of the race. So moving back, Total P's still within DRS range of CRL Ferg. As we come up to the DRS range, he runs wide out of turn 10 there, but still stays within DRS range. Both of them locking up, wanting to get every ounce of acceleration possible before braking. Dragon on speed, still holding his own in third. Optics obviously now off of his back. He's got a bit of breathing space. No one within his DRS range, but 4.6 seconds behind this battle. We're currently watching. Ferg moves to the inside. Good defending. I think he's done it. Both of them lock it up, but Total P's had the racing line and managed to get the undercut. Coming into the last corner, it looks like Ferg's going to take the position back. Yes, he does. P's has got DRS. Moving to the outside. This should be not even wanting to use his ERS. Manages to make the move and make it stick. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this over the next 12 laps, swapping and changing between the two of them. Right, I want to move to the battle now for third. We've got a bit of a train now starting to develop behind Dragon on speed, who has done really well to get up into third position. We've got... yeah, started in 8th, up to 3rd, racing well. Obviously, he does have a train behind him, though. 3 cars behind him all will have DRS, so a bit of a DRS train looks like it could form behind Dragon this lap, if not, definitely the next. So let's see how Brabbitt Extremist and G-Will up to 6th. He's got past Alex Ham, his championship rival, and he's up to 6th now from 9th when he regained control of his car. So CRL up to 5th, getting past the Extremist coming out of turn 10. Extremists must have made a mistake, because there's now quite a big gap between Brabbitt and the Extremists, but Louis Ladd having picked up a 3-second penalty. So we're on board with Brabbitt. I want to change that view. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make an impact. No. Ferg is still behind Total P's. He managed to gain enough out over that lap to hold him off in the DRS sections. I don't think he's going to have enough to catch him before turn 1. I want to watch Brabbitt. He's still got DRS on Dragon. See some really healthy ERS levels here for these front drivers, showing they're not driving at everything they have. They're leaving some in reserve, which is fantastic for the latter parts of the race when they are going to need it. So we've got Brabbitt in 4th on the tail of Dragon. I obviously wanted to close the gap and get past him for that final podium spot. Drew Will already up 4 places from the resumption of the safety car, up to 5th. Where is he going to end up? That is the question. And this should have been a free. I think this should have been a freeway between Total P's Ferg and Duo. Let's see how he does in the rest of the race. My prediction is he will get the podium position. he's driving well, he's driving sensibly. So let's see. He's not in the no one is really in DRS zone besides Alex Ham on the Extremist. It's going to be close to see if the Extremist gets DRS. It does not look like, I don't think, no, Extremist will not be getting DRS on Drew Hill, but Alex will be. Will he be able to make this work? Extremist out of Urs, trying to break the line. Is Alex going for the dive? No, he thinks better of it and tucks back in onto the racing line. Jake Lee up into 8th, passing Sozen Pat. 5.5 seconds behind the battle we were just watching, but Sozen Pat, yeah, brilliant driving there by Jake Lee on the outside to take Sozen Pat. And I want to move back up to the battle for 6th. Alex Ham on the inside of the Extremist coming into turn 3. Managed to make the move stick. So Alex now up to P6, 1 place, taking it from the Extremist, who moves down to 7th. And 1.8 seconds behind Drew Will, who is now in the DRS range of Brabbit and Dragon on speed. Drew Will again, ouch, having connection issues. Drew Will has left the session, he's got connection issues, and again, after all that hard work to get back up to 9th, is going to drop places, going to lose points to his championship rivals in Alex Ham, who now moves up to 5th because of that, and Ferg, who is currently in 2nd out of the DRS range of Total Ps, who's driven this race superbly, absolutely superbly. Was rooting there for you, Drew. This is my first time commentating on this league, but he seemed to have it after that first disconnection. I hate it when that happens. It happened to me yesterday, and from 2nd I dropped to 12th in Canada and never got it back. So unlucky there, Drew. Hope you can get back quick and you don't lose too many positions. Make for an interesting battle towards the end of the race. But let's focus again on this battle for 3rd, between Brabbit and Dragon. I think this is going to go down to the wire for them too. Dragon not feeling the need to use his Urs. Is Drew back? No, Drew is not back, but he's just set the fastest lap of the race. Weirdly enough, I've never seen that before. So I'm going to focus on this battle now, actually, for 6th. Alex Ham, 5th, Alex Ham and the Extremist. Alex locking up into turn 6. Question for me: will the Extremist be able to keep the DRS range on our second place in the championship? It's going to be tight. It is going to be very tight. A second separate them. Obviously, that is the gap. Alex is pulling away. I think the Extremist will have lost the DRS toe, and he is out of Urs, just down to 14% Urs compared to Alex's 29. So the battle for 3rd. Is Brabbit going to be able to get close enough at any point to put a serious move on Dragon? I'm not sure of it. Dragon is driving brilliantly. It seems to have very similar pace, these two. Compare their lap times as they cross the line. But it does appear they've got very similar lap times, even with the DRS advantage for Brabbit. So Dragon is going to cross the line and set a 1:35.1 and Brabbit a 1:35.3. So yeah, very similar race tyres. Dragon a couple of tenths faster in that lap, constantly dropping back. Like the gap between him and Ferg now is 7.6 seconds. So I'm going to stay with this battle for a little bit longer. We are at a position where this is the closest battle on the track. We've got another one, looks like it's going to happen soon, between Sozen Pat and Louis for 8th and 9th. Might tune into that one. Yeah, Jewel now dropping down quite as expected because of the lagging, because of the disconnection, down to 12th now. Optics will be the next man to overtake him. Optics not being able to make any leeway on the drivers ahead of him on the fresher mediums, on the faster medium tyres. So Yeah, on 4 lap old mediums, he's not really able to make much of a gap on these drivers. I was about to say, is Drew Will back, but no. Yeah, Optics is now past him. He's got a 2-second gap. Want to move back to the battle for 4th. We have got a yellow flag in sector 3. Looks like the Haas of Ice Dreams, maybe. Look to have lost a bit of time there. Jake Lee getting past the Extremist. He's done well to catch him up so quickly. Extremist looking to get the toe, but it doesn't look like it's going to make a difference. Jake Lee there taking 6th place and holding it. I think actually Extremist might have been the one to spin, and as soon as I say that, Jake Lee pits. Will be changing onto the softs, I can imagine, going for fastest lap. His tyres must be towards the end of their life, so he did 12 laps on those. 12 laps on the mediums, okay. So I reckon the rest of the drivers should be able to see through now to the end of the race in Optics. Yeah, in Optics he's the only other driver now. Jake Lee switches to the medium tyres. That's interesting. We'll see how he progresses with that. Is Drew Hill back yet? Nope, still lagging. So gonna get a battle for 3rd. Battle for 3rd. Actually, I'm going to focus on the battle for 7th. We've got Louis Ladd catching Sozin. Obviously, the battle for 3rd has been going on a while without much movement, but yeah, they're both catching up on the Extremist, who I think was the driver that caused the yellow flag in the previous lap, having dropped back 8 seconds on Alex Ham. So we will see. Optics getting another 3-second penalty, and not a lot of drivers here with penalties. Some good clean racing, not too much corner cutting. So Louis got a better line out of turn 12 around turn 13. He is going to have DRS. He's using up his errs. Is he going to be able to make a move and make it stick? Both of them getting the DRS train, but Sozin doesn't have as much what's it called? Louis outbreaks himself. Will Sozin be able to make a move on this? Nope, Louis does hold, coming through the last corner of the race. That looked like a bit of a corner cut there from Louis, so we will see. Who does not have DRSs out of so yeah, Louis makes the move for 7th position stick and is just now 0.8 of a second behind the Extremist in 6th. This looks like it's going to be the most interesting battle on track at the moment. A battle for 6th between Extremist, Louis Ladd and Sozin. Louis does have a time penalty. Let's have a look at the penalty situation whilst we're at it. So 4 drivers with penalties. Optics has got a 9 seconds penalties for corner cutting. So 3 infringencies. Drew, Jake Lee and Louis also with time penalties. That is going to play on Louis. He's going to have to get this move done with 6 laps to go and try and get a 3-second lead over the Extremist. The Extremist does seem to be struggling. His car, he just doesn't seem to have the traction he needs to get around these fast corners. And like I said in qualifying, if you can't get around that corner and get some speed out of it, you're going to lose on this home straight. It's just inevitable, as we see Louis make the move on the Extremist and make it stick. So good driving there by Louis, who now will need to branch out essentially a 3-second gap to claim what will be 6th position, unless the Extremist or Sozin pick up 3-second penalties as well. So stay tuned, we'll see how that goes. Once again, I hope you're all enjoying the stream tonight. This is round 6 of the Redline Racing Community League here at Shanghai, and there's a collision there between Louis and the Extremist. Is there any damage on his front wing? Let's see. Doesn't look like it from the rear view of Louis. It looks like no, it was just a minor tap. Yeah, no, his front wing is fine, so there won't be any need to pit off of that. But yeah, this definitely is the most interesting battle on track. So we're going to stick with it again for a little bit. Louis needs to build up a 3-second lead to make this position hold. He's got 6 laps, 6.5 laps to go. He does seem to be the fastest out of the 3 drivers. Let's compare their fastest lap times. So Louis, yeah, he is the fastest, only just over the Extremist, but I do believe the Extremist was running soft tyres earlier, so that may factor into that. Let's now see what the intervals are. It looks like a gap is now building up between the three of them, none of whom are in the DRS range of the other. So let's see, Louis has broken the DRS train. Will the Extremist get it coming into the home straight? It's going to be close. The DRS activation point is close, but I think he's just got enough, Louis, to hold him off of it. So once again, Brabby still 81% ERS. I think I see what happens here. He's saving it up for the last lap. He does not want to be the car at the front of the line. He wants to be that car to be the first to overtake on the last lap. I think he's saving it up. I mean, only time I've ever seen this would be in esports, and last season obviously we had a very close battle between the eventual champion Jan Otmer and, forgive me, I can't remember the name of the runner-up, I'll have to research that, but this guy would use ERS amazingly, barely using it, saving it, sit in second, and then last lap go for it. And I believe he was driving a Red Bull, so as both of whom lock up into turn 12. Brabbit losing. Is he going to have lost? Is he going to have lost it? Yes, he's lost the DRS drag because of that break. No, he hasn't. Okay, sorry. So he's got DRS. He's using his ERS. He's down to 60% now. I say down to, that's still amazing. And break in. Dragon locks up going into that corner, but managed to get around safely. Louis Ladd 1.1 seconds ahead of Extremist. He's not building much of a gap, but Sozenpat has fallen back. Sozenpat has fallen back 2.5 seconds behind Extremist and Louis Ladd now. Something must have happened there, as we see a lot of drivers now starting to overlap the ghosted XRT Crovey. Getting back. Doesn't look like... I don't think Alex is going to have enough in the tank to catch Brabbit. I don't. We'll see. He is obviously our second place in the championship. Our first place being Drew Will, who looks like still to be ghosting. So let's see, is he still ghosting? Yeah, still ghosting. So let's see. 3.5 laps to go of the round 6 of the Redline Racing Community League. So far, some brilliant driving by Total P and CRL Ferg. In a league of their own, really. 4 seconds separating the two, but 11.2 seconds up on Dragon on speed. So, barring any massive problems, that should be our first and second place. Brilliant driving by both of them, no mistakes made. Total Peas has pretty much led from the start and has dominated this Grand Prix. So as we see, Brabbit is now really starting to get onto his ERS. He sees Dragon is starting to get away, and Dragon still with 70% ERS left. This is incredible. Brabbit picking up a 3-second time penalty, and that is going to put Alex Ham in contention for 4th. If Alex can keep it clean for these next 3 laps and manage to match Brabbit for pace, which I think he will be able to do. They've both got similar, exactly as old tyres as each other, same compound. I don't see any reason Alex Ham will not be able to match Brabbit's pace here. That's going to be interesting. So now the battle for 3rd is a battle for 5th as Brabbit just holds it together out of turn 6. He's not helping himself here. I know he's got to go aggressive now. I'd more so be thinking I need to try and save 4th rather than go for 3rd, obviously. Very aggressive. So I want to focus on that exam. Obviously we've got a view of Alex of Brabbit. You can see if the gap's closing, not just on the grid. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. The Extremist has spun it. Extremist has spun it, giving Louis Ladd, who's got a 3-second penalty, 6th position. Now 6 seconds separate Louis and Sozon in 7th, and the Extremist is just behind Sozon. Extremist really seeming to struggle on these tyres. Sozon on his 23 lap old hards running wide out of turn 13. Extremist will have DRS on Sozon. Neither of whom have got any ERS left. Both of their lights are flashing. Is he going to make the move around the outside? This is risky. Goes to the undercut. No, but Sozon blocks it off. Brilliant driving there by Sozon. Didn't panic. Stayed calm and kept the car in the place it needed to be. Good defending there by Sozon. But Extremist will have DRS in the home straight. Around the outside. Is he going to make this stick? And there's a collision. There's a collision. Sozon, yep, Sozon has come off there. There was a collision between the Extremist and Sozon. I don't know whose fault it was. They were side by side into turn one. And just, yeah, I think unfortunately both on very worn tyres. That was going to happen. So now Optics, who we were talking about a bit earlier, is up to 9th in a points playing position. He does have a 3-second penalty, but Sozon now down to 10th is 3 seconds behind him on much more worn tyres, so I imagine he's going to make that stick. Alex Ham is closing in on Brabbit. He's only 1.7 seconds behind, so barring any last lap problems running off the track, he will get 4th position. So a good recovery from Alex. She was quite far down at the start towards after the first set of pit stops, but has made his way through the field. Some very intelligent driving there, so well done, Alex. So we're now on the last lap of the race for our race leaders. Brilliant, again, like I said, brilliant racing by Total Ps. We have got a yellow flag in sector 3. That would look like the Renault of Drew Hill. He definitely came off there and has lost a lot of time to Jake Lee in 11th. Did have DRS, but is now 5 seconds behind, so yeah, it must have been Drew Hill, who is basically running second last. Tentoon has come in to fit a new set of softs, but he has been overlapped by Total Ps, so he's not going to get a chance to set a fast lap, which was obviously his objection. And CA Renault come off. It looked like, right, I'm going to focus on the leaders. We've got Total Ps, who is now coming around to lap championship leader Drew Will, obviously had him disconnected earlier in the race. So barring any screw ups in this last corner, which I don't see happening, Total Ps will take the race victory here in the Red Bull car. For at China, we've got a DNF in Drew O for the Renault team, but as we see, sorry, for the McLaren team, Drew was in. TRL taking 2nd place in the Renault, brilliant driving there. Dragon will hold on to take 3rd. And Alex, as long as he can get around these last couple of corners, not lose too much time. Brabbit comes over 4th, but loses the position to Alex, who takes it by 0.8 of a second from Babby. Lewis is going to come over the line in 6th. Good driving there by the Red Bull team, 1st and 6th for them, with the Extremist in the Ferrari taking just his 2nd points finish of the season, getting a very valuable 6 points there for himself. Streams in 8th. Optics in the other Ferrari up to 9th, and that is your Redline Racing Community round 6 here at China. Let's see who our driver of the day is. iStreams has been nominated as the driver of the day. Obviously this is normally based on the amount of positions gained throughout the race, so well done there, iStreams. As we see our podium, Total Ps, great celebration there, and a win for the Red Bulls, followed by Ferg in 2nd, and the Williams, well done there, debut for the Williams driver, and a podium position. Brilliant driving there for the 3 of you. So just to round off the results again, yeah, so we've got Total Ps in 1st, CRL Ferg in 2nd, Dragon on Speed in 3rd, up 5 places from 8th. Fastest lap did go to Drew Will quite considerably, a 1:29 flat. Alex Ham in 4th, Brabbit in 5th, Louis Ladd in 6th, Extremist in 7th. iStreams gained 7 places in the race to take driver of the day in 8th. Sozen Pat 9th, and rounding off the points is Jake Lee in 10th. Optics was downgraded from 9th due to penalties and ended up out of the points. So brilliant racing there, gentlemen, and I hope you all have enjoyed this round 6 of the Redline racing community. My name is Peter. I hope you've enjoyed the commentaries as much as you've enjoyed the racing, and thank you very much to the admins of this league for inviting me to do this. I've really enjoyed it, and again, any comments, please feel free to drop them in the Discord or on the YouTube. Please remember to subscribe. Peter W 1986, sorry, Pete W 1986, and hopefully I will see you guys again next week. So take care, have a great week of racing, guys, and I will see you back here next Tuesday for round 7 of the Redline Racing Community League. Have a good night. Bye everyone.